We're going traveling for the first time since COVID started.
Yeah!
Yes! Just waiting on our grab to take us to the bus station across the city. This is going to be an interesting trip because we're going to Malacca. We're really excited. It's only 2 hours away, so it's not a long distance, but obviously it's the first one that we've been able to do since all this malarkey started.
By malarkey he means COVID.
Yeah, COVID. So it's going to be an interesting one, A, because we're just stoked to get outside, and B, because it's going to be our first travel in the new world of COVID stuff. So lots of masks, probably lots of standard operating procedures, standing away from people. The bus might not be full because they're not filling them up, all that kind of stuff. So it'll be interesting to see how it looks and be a taste of what travel will be like for the next few months at the very least, and maybe in the future.
Okay, wow.
Yeah. So here we go. Bye. Come on, Jess. The front, Jess. We got on the bus.
Waited for about 10 minutes.
And then got off the bus.
Because they told us that it was the wrong bus,
So we're running late, but it's okay because we're not too your schedule.
no.
Such is life.
Kinks of getting back into business.
Yeah. So we took a little bit of a detour. I actually got the wrong bus, that was my bad. So the region is called Malacca.
With an A.
With an A, M-A-L-A-C-C-A, and the city is called Melaka with M-E-L-A-K-A. So I saw Malacca, I just assumed that it was all the same thing, booked it, and we ended up in a town called Jassen, which is about 24 kilometers outside of Malacca. So we didn't really know what was going on. The bus driver was new, didn't know the directions, so he was having people direct him through this town. Absolute chaos. That's him just leaving now. So now we're in Jassen. We're glad it was a slightly more built up town than we thought it was going to be. It looked like a little village to begin with. And we're just waiting on a grab that can take us straight to our accommodation for the week.
Yeah. So they're on our way, and hopefully we will be there soon. I'm so hungry.
I'm hungry and bloody starving. Alright, so we're in our grab, we're getting petrol now. It took 3 grab drivers to get here. The first one was at the hospital for some reason.
Asked us to wait about 30-45 minutes before he could come pick us up.
I don't know if he was hurt or if he was waiting on something, I don't know, but... And the second guy was dead close, but then just decided to drive in a circle. Tried calling him, started blabbering to me, told him I don't speak Malay, kept blabbering. Whatever. Right, third guy came in clutch, called me straight away. What's up? Where are you guys at?
Was here in like 2 minutes.
And he's here. There's something to get petrol now. We're good.
We are here finally in Malacca with an E, and we're checking into our hotel room.
Just arrived. Here's a little rooftop deck.
Literally right outside.
And this is our door. So we have this to ourselves. This was $10 a night. $10 a night. So we get this. We got a little bathroom. We have the rooftop deck. It's technically the hotel's, but all the reviews online said barely anyone ever uses it. Whether that's because there's not many people in the hotel, who knows. But yeah, and we get a couple of bikes to use apparently as well, which are downstairs. So
cool. Pretty
solid. Alright, I'm not going to take the GoPro for this one, but first order of business.
Find a cafe. Get some coffee and food.
Munch the cow. I'll beat that away.
Yeah.
We got here, we've had a munch. We didn't film anything there or anything, but we just wanted to get settled a little bit. Had a quick nap to get going, and then we're going to go grab the bikes. The room came with 2 bikes. So we're going to fire down to the Straits of Malacca and maybe see the sunset next to the coast.
It's Tuesday.
Alright you guys, it is Tuesday in Malacca, and Steven and I are going to do some history learning today. So we're going to head to the museums and see what we can learn about the city, what we can learn about the state, and before we do that, we're going to head to one of the many cafes here in Malacca.
Get some lunch on.
Get some lunch, get some coffee, and get our day started right.
So one of the things that we're having to navigate right now, obviously because of the COVID stuff, is what is open, what is closed. It's really hard to get any information because a lot of places obviously were closed without really making any major notifications, so their websites don't list anything. So we're kind of winging it with a lot of the stuff that we're doing. So tours, the museums, all those kind of things we're not really sure about. But we found out from our Airbnb host last night that literally today 3 or 4 of the museums have opened up, and the 3 are the main ones as well, the ones we wanted to go see. So we didn't know that, and we've just timed it perfectly, so we should be able to get into them. And we just saw one of the river cruises float by, which you can get down here. You can go the whole length of the city on the river. But so it's looking good for us so far, but we'll see what other stuff might not be on. So we're down in the middle of the town again, right behind the Dutch district. So we are going to try and go into the museum, which is right behind us. Not 100% sure how to pronounce it. Studplay. Anyone Dutch, let me know.
But it's amazing because it's in an old Dutch building, just like the church.
So we'll tell you more about it later, but the general thing with this is that it was founded by the Portuguese in like the 1500s to 1600s, I believe. And the Dutch took it over after knocking out the Portuguese, and then the British knocked out the Dutch. So, as we do. So all the great colonizers were kicking around in here. But yeah, so we're excited to go check it out. The tourist information office was closed, so we couldn't get our little heritage walk thing. So we're gonna have to make our own, which is absolutely fine by us. So yeah, hopefully this museum's quite interesting and find out a little bit more about the history of Malacca. So it's a pretty comprehensive museum. It's been quite good so far. Shows you a little bit about pretty much everything to do with Malacca, from its history, how it became Malacca as it is today, all the cultural stuff, the weddings, the things that they wear. Here's some creepy people in a wedding. It's terrifying. But lots of information about it. It's really cool. And after this part, we're going to go upstairs and find out about the Portuguese, the Dutch, and the British, and then the Japanese occupation of the city. So this one's white right now. Obviously the big main one here, the iconic looking one, is the maroon colour. But originally the maroon one was white when the Dutch had it. But the British painted over it with the maroon red colour later on. So I think there's a possibility that it probably looked something like this at one point. I'm so scared of them. Pretty good wee museum. Tells you everything you need to know about Malacca. If there's one thing that we're generally finding out about Southeast Asia, is that Britain... It's
so diverse from the very beginning.
Well, I was going to say we were assholes back in the day.
Yeah, you were.
The British, the Dutch, the Portuguese. The Portuguese were really horrible here. Sorry for Portuguese. Then the Dutch came and they seemed to be a little bit better. Then the British came and we just did our thing like we did all over the world. So
just so the French couldn't have it.
Yeah, it's always such a weird thing, and especially with everything that's going on right now about like the past and all the racism that goes on and stuff, and everything that looks back at, and you're considering all the stuff that you see here, you're so torn because a lot of the developments that happened here and the way that things look wouldn't look as beautiful in at least the sense that they do now if it wasn't for the colonization. Yeah. But then you have to think at the same time that we came in here as invaders and did all this stuff.
Yeah, and you took the land from people who were here before you.
Yeah. Then on the other hand again, people have been doing that for millennia, so it's hard.
It's a funny thing.
It's a hard thing to rationalize and stuff because you wouldn't have buildings like this and
courtyards and
if the Dutch hadn't decided that they wanted it and the Portuguese didn't decide they want Malaysia.
And it wouldn't be red if the British had decided that they didn't want to come in and conquer everything.
Yeah. So it's always food for thought when you're out doing these things. But yeah.
Maybe that's just us.
Yeah. Nope.
Okay, so there is no real significance to this other than the fact that it's something that you do in Malacca. So we actually saw it on another YouTube channel, but somebody went and they got this, and it's a little watermelon, Yeah, you just blend it. He blends it, he puts ice in it, and it's like a watermelon slushy. And then he gives you the core. I was really excited to try it.
Sure was.
I like jumped in the middle of the street.
We're about to enter the kind of old walled area of the city. So when the Portuguese here, they had a massive wall fort built around the city. And the Dutch had it, they used it, but when the British took over, they started dismantling the wall because they thought that if it got taken, it would be used against them. So they started dismantling it until one of the governors stopped them because he wanted to preserve it as a historical thing. So there's only a tiny part of it left now, and at the top as well, there's an old church too called the Church of St. Paul's, and it's a ruin as well. So we're about to walk up, and it looks like this. Still got the beautiful red colour. And you've got
aware that we're in a tourist town.
These guys are everywhere. Want some cowboy hats? Why is it selling cowboy hats? It's okay. Let's have a look. So we're in the church right now. Absolutely amazing. Really, really cool. I'm confused why some people think it's underrated because it looks amazing. You can see right down here. Beautiful. But you've got all these old graves. And this one has a skull and bloody crossbones. It's all in Latin, but I'm going to try and translate it with Translate later. And I want to know if it was a pirate because I've always heard that the skull and crossbones thing was a bit of a stereotype that didn't actually apply to pirates. But if he was a pirate, and he died in 1598. Was it a 15 or was it an 18? 15, I think. So that's really cool if he did. But proper, like, spooky place though. Looks like a setting for an Indiana Jones movie or something. Absolutely amazing. Love it. Free to come up here too. So as we just came down from the church, which is up here, had a lovely interaction with a guy that sells paintings there. Didn't try to push his painting on us at all. We just started chatting. But he's actually a descendant of the Portuguese that were here. So a few Portuguese people stayed after the Dutch took over, and the Dutch let them stay. And obviously they've had their own little area, and there's a part of the city that's still meant to be Portuguese. So we'll maybe try and check that out before we leave. But so he's descendant. He speaks fluent Portuguese, although it's obviously a bit of a dialect now, being in Malaysia for so long. But we came down here, and this is the remains of the Portuguese wall. So it's all that's left. It used to go the whole way around the city, but the Dutch and the British dismantled it because they thought it might be used against them if someone tried to come back. But they left this part because they just wanted to keep some of the historical significance of it, and it's really beautiful. You can see the markings on the thing, and it was built by some guy called Albuquerque, which is a place in America too, isn't it? Which is why I wonder if it's the same guy. I don't know. So we're heading back to the hotel right now to freshen up a little bit before we head back out again tonight. Well, we've just been eating little things today, so we're looking for this papaya stall that's meant to be right around here. And is that what you're fancying? No. Oh, right there. But there's no name on the place, and it's a stall so they can kind of do what they want. So we just have to kind of be on the lookout for it, but it's in this area, so it may be on the street. And it's starting to rain. Alright, so we've got our papaya. They actually don't let you film or take pictures or anything there. I found that place online. It is literally just a tiny little stall. It's a tiny little stall, and you wouldn't even notice it. And I was standing in the 7-Eleven, so I was like, yes, let's go. So I didn't film getting it, but it's meant to be spicy. We'll see how it is when we get it, but it's meant to be very, very good. So we're right at our hotel now. Gonna get ready. We'll get some burgers. Go from there. Oh my goodness.
This is what it looks like.
Oh.
Is it good?
It's so good.
What does it taste like? Is it pork? Beef? Pork?
It's pork, but it's so good. I know you don't like pork that much, but oh my god. Oh. There's just a whole bunch of stuff in there. The spice, there's the spice.
We are having a pre-gamer before we go and have dinner.
On our little rooftop.
On our little rooftop. And it's been raining, so we're sitting underneath this shelter. Mm.
That was my crotch, sorry.
And after we have our beer, we will go freshen up, dry up, and create some dinner.
Cheers to that.
Cheers, guys.
Alright, so we're back down by the river. We were meant to be going to a restaurant called Gravy Baby, which is a franchise in Malaysia.
And
maybe other places too, I don't know.
Yeah, we saw it in KL and we didn't go there, but we saw it here and we were like, oh, it looks so sweet. So we were gonna go.
And we went this morning and the guys were lovely. They were showing us all the deals and stuff. Food looks good, kind of British food, so I was all over it.
Yeah, some of the cheapest beer in the state, honestly.
Yeah. And after coming from KL, we were like, yes, because KL's alcohol is extortionate.
It's like double the price.
But we turned up tonight and the manager comes out and he's like, were you guys here looking for alcohol? And we're like, yes. He's like, we're not serving alcohol right now.
And he remembered us from earlier in the day, and he said that he tried to like chase us down and see where we're at so he could tell us that they weren't able to because one of his employees told us that they were, but it was a whole thing and he couldn't find us. So
yeah, and there's a whole bunch of new regulations that are in there now because of the COVID stuff. We saw it last night briefly with drinking outside in restaurants and stuff, but it wasn't a big deal. So you can still sell it, but it's awkward,
rules,
obviously.
Yeah.
And he's decided just to not bother selling it right now to keep on the good side of the government because he's only just opened. But to say sorry, he gave us a beer to go for free. He just poured them for us.
And he was like, you guys, it doesn't matter if you stay or if you eat or anything else, just go. And we're sorry about it.
So we're gonna go back and eat there for sure because he was lovely.
He was lovely.
Yeah, but we got a free beer out of it, so fair enough.
Cheers, baby.
So we're gonna have a
beer by
beer
the
in the river. Itchy nose.
Yeah. There's mosquitoes everywhere, they're getting me.
Not for me. Mosquitoes don't like me.
They love me, they love my blood.
This is my idea of perfection. Couple of years, a foreign country, a wee river, a table by it, and some lovely big beers, and then this specimen. Alright, it is Wednesday in Malacca. We're getting a slightly later start because Jess had a rough night. She woke up in the middle of the night and what, Jess?
About 4 a.m. I woke up and I was very, very sick. So I was vomiting for about 40 minutes. And then Steven woke up and helped me get myself together again.
So yeah, she's running on empty right now.
Yeah, I'm a little off right now.
Yeah, so we're gonna go to the cafe, get her some food. Hopefully that picks her up again. I might have said last night, but I'll probably use this one instead because it's more coherent. But this street is called Junker Street. And one of the downsides that we have with how we travel is that we don't have the weekend because we work on the weekends. So it's great because we have Monday through Friday to ourselves, but we can't do anything on the weekends. And this street on Friday, Saturday and Sunday is a big market the whole way through. So it's a really skinny street, you can see the whole way up and down. But it's packed with hawker stalls and food stalls, everything you can think of. So unfortunately we won't be able to show you that one. And we wish we could because we would just eat our lives away. But
honestly, if you just look it up on YouTube, there's plenty of people who have been on the street whenever it's really, really, really like touristy, and you can't move. So
it may not be as
good
as we hoped.
Yeah.
But
we still get to eat, which is amazing.
Exactly. So, back.
So one of my favorite things about Malacca is that with all of the street food that they have and all of the authentic Malay food, you also have this massive cafe culture. So you have so many cafes. There's probably 2 or 3 cafes on every block, and they're all so different. They're all so unique. And usually they're in reconverted and reconstructed old heritage buildings, which is really, really, really cool. But one of my favorite things, you can get some good coffee. Or a smoothie.
Awesome homemade pastries.
So now we're going to try an egg custard tart from the Portuguese.
From the Portuguese?
Yeah, came from Portuguese. Hello.
Hello.
Can I just get 2 egg tarts?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, thanks man. Tarts. So this is one thing that you'll see all around in Malacca, and you'll see it all over Asia as well, honestly, at this point, but Malacca is one of the big focal points for it because they're Portuguese egg tarts. And the Portuguese colonized here in the 1500s, like we've showed you already. So one of the things that stuck around about their culture was the tarts.
Egg tarts.
So you can buy these on the street everywhere. They're small, they're fluffy and buttery.
Ooh, how does it taste? Is it good?
It's lovely. Very light and fluffy.
Fluffy.
And the pastry's great. Oh, the kite will be there. Good morning. It is Thursday and our last full day in Malacca. Quite sad.
Yeah,
Been lovely so far.
it's been so lovely.
Jess is feeling better,
Much better.
and we're about to head off. We got up early today. We actually did it this time, and we're gonna go head to this Heng.
Heng Kuan coffee shop. It is actually one of the oldest shops in the whole city. It's about 90 years old and it's family owned and run, so it's passed through the generations, and it's supposed to be the most amazing kopitiam around here. I was gonna say in all of Malaysia, but not all of Malaysia, but in this area, yes.
But we have a curry toast and some coffee.
Coffee, some Hanning coffee.
There we go.
Let's go.
Alright, so we found it. It wasn't in the location that we thought it was.
No.
But we have found it.
They moved, what, 3 years ago? 2 years ago?
Yeah, 2 years ago down the road. So if you're looking for Heng Hua coffee shop, it may not be in the same location, but if it is, just come down further.
So if you're looking at the map, it's not by the temple. It's a little bit further down, like a block down.
Yes.
Okay.
So look what we have next. This is beautiful.
So cool.
Gorgeous.
And then this is the shop right behind us.
Boom. And there we go. Little hole in the wall place. Beautiful.
We are at Heng Hua Coffee Shop. And like we said before, this coffee shop has been here for a little over 90 years now. Stayed in the family for generations, and we're getting some kaya toast and some coffee. It's highly recommended, so we're excited about it.
So one of my favorite things to get when you come to coffee shops and ATMs in Malaysia is the kaya toast. You have it all in Chinese coffee shop, you get a cup of coffee and you get the toast. And the kaya is coconut butter basically. It tastes bloody brilliant. I love it. Love it. So we've got a soft boiled egg that comes with it, which is lovely. You just put the kaya toast on that as well, and that makes up the breakfast set for it. So
So you're supposed to dunk the kaya
I just
toast.
pour it out and then I'll swipe it on with it. Basically eggs on soldiers. Glad that you made it this far in the video. Congratulations. We owe you something. Just gratitude mainly. We don't have anything else we can give you. Ooh.
This is the kitty cat that comes to the bar almost every night and sits there and lets us pet her. And we saw her again this morning.
So it's our last morning in
Last
Malacca.
one.
We're going to leave in like 3.5 hours or so.
Yeah.
Pretty gutted, but it's been a wonderful week. Really, really good to get out traveling again.
It's been so weird because obviously we've been quarantined for 3.5 months. So we haven't moved from our apartment, but
No,
it's been nice.
it's been brilliant. We've probably got about £10 each in food,
Yeah.
but it's okay.
And we're about to go put on some more because we're going to try 2 more things that you have to try in Malacca for breakfast. So.
Definitely. But we're here down in the... For some reason, Keels have sponsored this wall. We're not really sure why. It's a very strange thing to just casually sponsor, but it's dead pretty, and I guess it's phenomenal
And
marketing.
I was about to say, it makes for a great Instagram photo, which is exactly what we're going to do.
We're just exactly what we're exactly, and it's going to be hashtags and stuff. So yeah, but yeah, we're sad that we're
Last day.
leaving, but it's beautiful, and
It is beautiful.
Malacca's been lovely.
So definitely come to Malacca.
Definitely.
Sorry. Sorry.
There's me trying to be sweet.
I didn't know what you were doing. Sorry. Love you.
Jess has found us an elusive nyonya laksa stall. It's about 1.5 miles from the city centre, so we're cycling down to find the laksa. I'll tell you what laksa is when we get there, if you don't know what it already is. Stuck in the traffic lights, It's very warm in the sun. So we got to the restaurant. We thought it was still a stall, but it looks like they've expanded.
Very sweaty. So if you're looking for Baba 483, which is what you should have seen online, it's now Baba Charlie Cafe, and it's in a restaurant. It's in an actual building.
Yeah. It was where it was listed before. It was down the road, and there was a
here.
stall with a few seats and stuff. But
And it was all outside. It looked like rugged and just thrown together. But this is so cool for them.
So I'm hoping it is them,
Yeah.
and if it is, then great job.
Byron. So, we were wrong. This is not the same place as we thought. If you Google the best places to have nyonya laksa in Malacca, you're going to find that Baba 483, I think that's
Something like that, yeah.
Baba 483, it's a number at the end, is the best place to get it. It's a food stall, it's right, like we said, right down the road, and this is not the same place. We researched a little bit more and found out that that place is actually open only on Saturdays. So if you come here on the weekends, definitely check them out. But this is also apparently a really good place, so curious to try nyonya laksa.
There's a picture on that one.
So laksa is something that if you're in Southeast Asia, you must get, especially if you're in Malaysia. Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, they're all really, really known for the laksa, and that is a super, super popular dish here. It is essentially broth or a curry, a really spicy curry broth with wheat noodles or rice noodles or chicken or fish. It really depends on where you go in Malaysia and what they put in it. This one in particular is called nyonya laksa, and it's a super, super, super famous dish here in Malacca. Nyonya comes from the name of female Chinese immigrants that settled in Penang, Singapore, and Malacca. So that's where you get that name from, but this one in particular is a coconut broth with chicken and wheat noodles and some tofu, it looks like, and it's pretty much a curry, so this is what it is.
Alright, so the nyonya laksa, big A+.
Oh my gosh.
Phenomenal. Phenomenal. We'd only ever had one before, and it was good, but that was it's made of bloody flavors in it. It was so good.
So amazing.
Very jealous of them just being able to casually have that whenever they feel like it. It's good.
And it was really, really cheap.
Yeah.
Guys, for the papaya, for the laksa, and for a massive water, it was 14 ringgit, which means that was $3.50.
Alright, we are saying goodbye to our little rooftop. Here's the key. Here you go.
Our grab is almost here.
Almost there.
Alright.
Beautiful. Peace out from deskavoidance.
Oh.
We're back.
We're back.